Before I start, I want to say that the following content is a revised summary of Jeffrey Wolf Green's work on Pluto in the 12th house, but I feel that most of it still applies to any placements in Pisces or in the 12th house. With that being said, enjoy the video. Placements in Pisces in the 12th house or aspects to Neptune represent the intention to spiritualize or dissolve aspects of the self that keep one trapped in the illusion of separateness. This rite of passage of consciousness in form is not an easy task, but is a metamorphosis that rewards us with knowledge of our immortality. Some people with Pisces or 12th house placements are aware of this intention to merge with the Creator while incarnate, while others are not. The egos of those who are not conscious of this desire can fear losing control of their life, which can cause them to latch onto anything of an individualizing nature to feel in control. But there is a feeling deep inside that whatever they latch onto, they don't really relate with. Usually what they latch onto is a fantasy or dream that they funnel most of their energy, time, and identity through. A lot of them will actualize their fantasy, but if it is not actualized in alignment with the Creator's will, the dream will be destroyed sooner or later, in order that they may learn that nothing lasts forever, and even dreams, once fulfilled, don't bring them what they were truly desiring, which is the lasting happiness and contentment that can only be attained through right relationship to the All. Put another way, an unconscious intention to merge with the All that remains unconscious can manifest as a fear around spirituality, the paranormal, or anything that serves to sever the relationship to an identity that remains separate from the totality of reality. Some for whom this intention remains unconscious have abused power in past lifetimes, and therefore come into life with a God complex, which creates experiences of persecution or victimization, either perpetrated by others or on others. The usual response is a hiding and wasting away, blaming the world and everyone else for their problems, or conversely, the need to save or martyr themselves for others, even when those others didn't ask for or want their help. Both reactions serve to keep the ego fully intact and asleep in the drama of life. Once the individual has surrendered to what is, i.e., God's will or natural law, only then can they act on behalf of the Creator and take part in a divine mission while incarnate, a mission that will manifest easily and of its own accord. Some who have turned control of their life over to the Creator in prior lifetimes will be born as psychics, mediums, or channels. Others will come into a life feeling like they don't belong on Earth. This happens when they've spent a long time out of body or on other planets. Those with Pluto in the 12th house will feel the internal void of separation from Source more acutely than those with other planets in the 12th house or Pisces. This can result in the fear of dissolution and loss of control, manifesting in things like paranoia, neurosis, schizophrenia, and phobias in extreme cases, and nightmares, sleepwalking, or excessive talking or doing in less extreme cases. Resistance to the soul's desire to merge with the Creator and its will can manifest in worst-case scenarios as insanity, possession, or total disintegration or fragmentation. In others, it can manifest as the Jesus syndrome, those who are so totally identified with their ego they believe they are God. Some have prior lifetimes of withdrawal from the world, where they lived in monasteries or as wild people, whether by choice or through forced karmic experiences such as imprisonment or slavery. The desire to dissolve all barriers preventing the merging of the individual power into the cosmic whole is represented in Neptune Pisces in the 12th house. These barriers can be emotional, intellectual, physical, or spiritual in nature. This desire causes experiences that lead to ego dissolution. The ego can react to this desire and the related experiences that lead to ego death in one of three main ways. The first reaction is to totally deny or repress the desire to evolve one's conscious awareness. This reaction results in trying to go back to the world of the past, to what is known and comfortable. This reaction will produce life situations where powerlessness is experienced. Things like disability, disease, karmic blockages to will, involuntary confinement, and limitations of any and all kinds. A second reaction can be to entertain the desire. This reaction will produce lives lived in service to others, in which the individual may only turn to spirituality in times of crisis. People with this reaction can have periods of existential crisis and/or become creative icons. The third reaction is to embrace their desire, to understand what life is about and their part in it. Those who have this reaction will be totally unconditioned from societal or cultural identifications. They will do the tasks or duties they are assigned by the Creator to do, and can become freed from the necessity to reincarnate on the earth plane. Reactions 1 and 3 are less common than reaction 2, and a person can experience a mix of these reactions over the course of a single life. Another trait of those with placements in Pisces or the 12th house is idealism. They will have a strong sense of what is right and wrong, and thus will judge themselves and all others according to that ideal. This sets them up to engage in projection, or the action of displacing their feelings, beliefs, or values onto another person. This inability to see, understand, or acknowledge that others have different, subjective internal realities than they themselves do sets them up for victim consciousness, or the experience that all others, and even life itself, is against them. Some attempt to avoid this victim reality through various forms of escapism, things like addiction to drugs, food, or sex. They will therefore need to learn about projection at some point in their life, or that we are all responsible for and create our own realities. Other life lessons for those with Pisces or 12th house placements include needing to learn humility, or the lesson that we don't or can't save anyone, but that is God's job, and needing to learn proper judgment, or judging according to the intentions of individuals versus their actions or the effect those actions have had. When our ego is resisting the intention to merge with Source, this manifests in different dreams or fantasies, with associated roles such as savior or drifter. Once we are made aware of our unconscious intention, we develop a need to find a belief system that can help us in the understanding and analysis of ourself, or what we are doing and why we are doing it. Once we find this belief system, fear of the abyss or merging with the all is replaced by faith or intuitive knowing that we are part of something larger than ourselves that can never be destroyed. Those with this desire to merge with Source need to develop particular practical mental methods or techniques through which they learn how to analyze themselves. They should incorporate these methods into their natural meditative state. They must also engage in work that is of service to the whole. Their right work will be determined by their karma and the needs of the whole. These needs are representative of the polarity of Virgo, the energy they need to learn how to incorporate into their life in order to be balanced. 12th house Pluto people have sensitive pineal glands. Resistance to altered states of consciousness via the pineal gland can result in psychological, emotional, and physical illness. Because of their orientation to the now moment, those with this or similar placements are learning how to balance action with non-action, acting in the moment upon what is, or the messages coming from their body, versus acting or not acting out of their mind or ego, is how they learn that balance. Those with Pisces and 12th house placements need to understand the individual part they are meant to play in their various lives, and how to allow Source to express itself through that part.